back from our play session, which was okay, but at the beginning, uh, my dad's dog and my dog had a bit of a little touch up with each other, and my dad's dog is elderly, and my dad got up really quickly to sort of separate them and hit his head on the bottom of the house because he was sort of sitting underneath it. And yeah, so that was really stressful. And we just need to make sure that all the doors are closed. And usually, and Dad even said it, like he tells me when he's going outside, but lost 2 fingernails. Oh Lord, dog politics, more dog politics. Anyway, we're going to keep on going with this. We still got a Playboy bunny, Playboy
What was it?
thing to do.
I had my granddaughter do my first TikTok post for me, and it was, and she did the caption, and she goes, "Look at my crazy grandma having me teach her how to TikTok."
Yeah.
Great, Cheryl. Thanks.
Anyone else have any TikTok tips or?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to, demean these people. They're obviously just new to TikTok, right? But it's just like, and this is what we're doing in our Zoom today. It's so different from the Zooms we usually have where, it's so structured, and this is just like, anyone can talk at any time. There's Shana. She is really trying to drum up some interest in this, because they know that there's not many people on there. And I mean, if you go viral on TikTok, you get quite a lot of eyes on you. Not that I'd know, I haven't gone viral myself, no reason to. But yeah, these people, it's just a little bit amateurish, It seems like there's a lot of either first timers or people who, like I've said before, they failed in an MLM before, and somebody's thrown them this little lifeline, and they think it's going to be the jackpot at the end of the rainbow, and it's just not.
Suggestions? Yeah, so this is Stephanie Hunt. I started my TikTok probably about 2 years ago. And my thing was I worked long hours at the post office. So anytime I heard any music, I would just, dance to it. And that's what I did. But it's different with product because sometimes you don't know what to say, things like that. But dancing to other people's music is how I got my 2,000 followers. So
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Stephanie, it's just doing it. That's it. I mean, that's the main thing is like, even if you got followers from dancing and you're like, okay, not with product, I don't know what to do with the product, but you can actually just add the product into your dancing. And then they're gonna, they're already following you because you're dancing. So
I don't think that's how that's going to work. Like, they're there for, I don't know, like Stephanie's has a larger body, and so, there could be a lot of body positivity people in there, as well as, people who enjoy celebrating confidence and whatever. But if you start trying to shill something like the strip, it could drive them away, and you've grown this organic following, and, you lose it in a second if you are not careful. Because that's how people, they won't tell you, I don't like this, they'll just unfollow,
So add the product in there.
Yeah.
Bad advice.
I think Christina Miller has her hand up.
Bad advice.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question. So do you suggest not to have your real name on your TikTok so it's not the same as your Facebook, or does it matter? Like I can see my name, you know, the way it's my full name, the same as it is on Facebook, if that makes sense. So should I change it, or does that matter at all?
I don't know if it matters so much. I do try to keep all of my names kind of the same so you can get people from one platform to the other platform easier. If you can, sometimes you can't get the same name on all of them, but that's just my personal preference. I don't know how much it matters.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think so either, Brooke. I mean,
Bit of a trigger warning coming up when Chandra speaks. She's going to talk about domestic violence.
I would feel like if somebody can search you up on Facebook easy because your TikTok name's the same, that would be good, because when you start adding product to your TikTok, you're going to see your biggest challenge is getting somebody from TikTok to one of your other platforms so you can talk to them.
Especially if you've grown an organic following for something else.
Because TikTok is very tough to have conversations, and they don't allow links like when you're talking inside of the chats and stuff in TikTok. So one of your biggest challenges is going to be getting people off of TikTok and following you on your other platforms. So I wouldn't think it's a bad idea at all.
I think Chandra.
Yeah, this is Chandra. What I was wanting to know is, does it matter, because I don't know nothing about technology, does it matter if it's just TikTok or TikTok Lite? Because I don't know the difference. And what about Instagram, which I don't have that either?
I haven't heard of TikTok Lite yet. This is the first I've heard of it. I just go on regular TikTok. And then Instagram too. No, after you start getting into it, what I do just to kind of like try to multitask a little bit better is I'll create a TikTok. I'll copy that without a watermark. I'll post that as a reel on Instagram. I'll post that as a reel on Facebook. So you can like reuse all of your stuff and make it more streamlined later on. But as far as like adding two different platforms that you haven't used yet, I personally would just do one at a time. Like if you're good at Facebook and you feel like, okay, I could tackle something else, maybe add on TikTok. And then once you kind of get into TikTok, you're like, all right, I kind of got this, and maybe you can add on Instagram. But I think the more platforms that we can be on, the better, because there's people that are on Facebook that are not on Instagram, that are not on TikTok, that are not on YouTube, right? So anytime we can like reuse our content and get it out to as many people as possible, I think the better.
Yeah, I didn't know, because I was typing it in as I was on the Zoom call and it showed TikTok, and underneath of it said TikTok Lite. It gave those two options. That's the reason I was asking. And I have another question. I was in a domestic violence relationship, so I tried to hide from my ex and his friends and family. Can you block people beforehand or no?
On TikTok, well, I mean, you know, it's...
Before she answers, I was just horrified to hear this. There's 100+ people in here. I mean, this person is talking about a domestic violence situation where she is hiding from her ex. So having her location known puts her at physical harm. And they're about to talk about still doing social media. This is where I type something in the chat, and I'll talk about it as we go. But the only thing she should have said is make sure you're safe. Like, there shouldn't have been a conversation. There should have been, hey, yeah, okay, can we, I'll get in touch with you in a DM and we'll have a chat about it.
But she doesn't do that.
Kind of hard because people can create any sort of accounts that they want, right? Like people can have many different TikTok accounts, they can have different Facebook accounts. All they have to do is change up their name a little bit. So it's really hard to
Way to make her feel unsafe on all social media.
block one specific person when they can create different accounts.
Okay, I was just wondering about that. Thank you.
So I'm sitting here like going, what
I think Betty Joe.
what is that? What why that was
Hey,
that didn't offer any advice, solutions, didn't address her problem. Oh, that was just awful. And this is me waiting for them to say something that actually is proactive about keeping her safe.
her answer about blocking.
I'm
If you know,
I'm typing now. And it says, please don't put your safety at risk. Like, seriously, for this, you're not gonna actually have a statement where you say, but first of all, you shouldn't be even entering into it because you're not qualified to give any advice on this sort of thing. And you should, put her safety above anything. This is gross. And I was really shocked when I heard that. And it's yucky to hear it again too.
that they have a TikTok, you can go in and search them up and block them because I've had to do that. And also like I have two accounts. So sometimes having a second account that you work off and then having one that's kind of like more public that you don't really use. So that if someone were that you don't want to see, you just don't post stuff there. You post it on a second account. Does that make sense?
And this is me like thinking,
Yeah, and
should I
again,
post it?
probably
Should I
just as
post it? Should I
precautionary,
post
just,
it?
I mean, obviously you try not to give away where exactly your location is,
And the thing is, they're all very new to technology. This person didn't even have Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. So I've actually put it in the chat now. Please don't put your safety at risk. But the thing is, on social media, it may not be the ex that you don't know who he could access through, like the accounts. Like you might have a sister or kids or whatever, and you're trying to put the focus on blocking them when the safer thing to do is to not be on social media, okay? Because your life is not worth the risk. Yeah, it might mean less sales, but this is yuck.
Not tagging a restaurant that you're directly in or that kind of thing. That's the only thing I could think of.
Don't post at all. Now it's sorry, awkward silence, awkward silence. I'm gonna get kicked out. I just said, I'm sure you heard it. I'm gonna get kicked out because it was just, I was the only person who said anything about it. Oh no, someone said yes, you can block, but everybody else is like, yeah, like this and that. But please don't. I was the only one who said anything, so I'm thinking, oh God, I'm gonna get kicked out. I didn't, but I thought I was going to. And Shana, she's just about to say something because of the definitely awkward silence right now. For sure, I'm gonna get kicked out.
Anyone else? I see people typing in the comments, but
So a couple of other people have said something, thank goodness. Make sure your location is set to off always, and yes, be safe. That's what always makes me afraid to use apps sometimes. Wow, so she's not the only one. And I imagine, on a bunch of 100 women, well, there's not only women on this call, but the percentage of people who would be facing trauma based on domestic violence situation and other situations probably quite high in a group like that. So, and especially anyone who's been targeted to join an MLM, they're looking for those pain points. So, just makes me feel really uneasy. Awkward silence. Awkward silence. There's an awkward silence. What's going on? What the fuck is this for then?
Hey, I wanted to add something.
Oh, thank God.
The one thing I worried about is doing a TikTok and worried about everything like you guys have discussed. But the ones that I have spent the most time on, I just wasted my time. Those are the ones that you don't get the most views or likes on. It's the little snippets that I record during the day of horses, chickens, or a cat, and doing a stupid song to it. And I've had somewhere that they've just gone crazy when you least expect it. So just start doing little ones, and you'll get more and more creative, and you'll start seeing your likes go up and the people start following you more. I love that. And another thing I wanted to say, this is kind of cool too, and multi-purpose and again, but if you're using like Instagram stories or Facebook stories, right, where you're utilizing the hands-free option or the quick records where you're doing those quick little video snippets, you can download those straight from Instagram and use that in your TikToks as well, because a lot of times I'll try to get all my content done in the morning, and then throughout the day, just take little video clips here and there. And then even the next day, you could save those and repurpose those as TikToks too.
Okay.
So, question, guys, because we have not a lot of people want to talk about TikTok, but that makes me realize that the real question is, what is your fear? Like, open up to why you haven't done them, or what your fear is in doing one of these things. Is it a fear of you being on camera? Is it a fear that you just think you're not going to have enough views? Let's talk about what are your fears in doing one? What has kept you so far from doing it? Is it time? Is it, that you just you're not good at a platform, you don't have the time to learn it? What are the fears in that?
My biggest fear.
I think that this is a really manipulative question. She's, she wants the oversharing moment because, this does seem that everybody's a little bit hesitant, and you got to get with the program. When you're in an MLM, you can't be sitting on the fence going, oh, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. The whole system is based on duplication, and that's what she wants. So it's interesting because I think it's twofold. She's got the basic that she does want them to learn TikTok because there's a market there for them, but she also wants that pain point for herself, because she'll use it against them. Remember how you said that in the Zoom meeting? You felt, self-conscious about being on camera. Well, now look at you, or, something like that, where she can use it later. Whether she's doing it unconsciously or not. But, she's the top. So.
Fear personally is that I'm haven't had the time to learn it. So when we were starting this this coffee time, I thought this was a huge opportunity to start learning it. So I think doing maybe a couple session live, breaking it down slower, like 30 minutes to an hour, would truly help me. I don't know if that would help others. I tried learning it and messed it up and bailed and just kept with Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can do something like that. Just so you know, I think the best way to learn anything is to just mess with it first. Like I watched a bunch of different videos, and we do have some. I know that Jen and Allie have some trainings in there. I'm not sure if you saw them, but she does have some trainings already in that TikTok and Reels Academy. But for me, even watching things like that didn't help me as much as just going on and playing with it and doing it myself and just keeping it in my drafts, because at the end you don't have to post it. And even if you do post it, sometimes you can put it to only you. If you're scared to like release it right then, you can put it to only you. But I just played with it and did a couple of videos myself before I actually put it out there. But I completely understand where you're coming from, because that's how I felt at first too, is that I just didn't have anybody to.
I'm not buying that. I think that she went straight for it. I don't know if I said this earlier because my brain is like a sieve, but like I love TikTok, and I had a pretty big TikTok, like over 500 followers last year, just mainly from the dogs. And then my students found it, and one of the creepers made a fan account, and I'm like, okay, TikTok's over. But then I redid it as Echo Echo. And I love it. I think it's a great little thing. I am wasting less time on it now, which is good. But I've always sort of been on whatever's happening, which I've said before, and I always sound like a hipster, but if the shoe fits. But like my Instagram's like over 10 years old, I think, at this point in time. So I try to get on everything and, use it. Creative person. Yeah, but I think she just wants people to get the word out there. And she's pretending to not have been good at it, or not to have known how to do it, but so that she can relate to these people to say, look at me, I didn't know at first either, and now I'm good at it.
Help me. And when I asked my daughter, she was just like, Mom, and so I was like, I can't figure this darn thing out. And I was frustrated. I was. And I'm gonna tell you, it took me months before I started to actually do them myself. And I just kept playing with it. And it almost made me, I was like, Shanna, get over yourself. Like, you have to tell yourself that, like, you know what? If you want something, you have to do it. You just have to figure it out. And so I did. And I just went on there and started like playing with it. And I think that that's probably the best thing to try to do, is just like go on there and see what all the buttons do. It's kind of like, I don't know how you guys feel when you first start a job, but when I first started any job and I had to learn something, they could tell me till the cows come home how to do it. They can give me a list, they can show me and do it themselves, and then be like, no, you go here, here, here. And they're showing me until I actually do it myself. I won't learn. So that's just how I am. And I'll never forget once I do it myself. So I think it depends on what type of learner you are. But just so you guys do know, there are some trainings in that TikTok and Reels Academy, and that you can use already, or you can Google like a simple TikTok, like how to video, and then just play with it. Like literally just play with the app.
Shanna, I think you just literally said the keyword there. And that's something maybe I missed when I was playing with it, is keep it in drafts, because I just put it out there and I'm like, yeah, no.
Okay, but you need to tell them what that means, because they don't know. I just checked my my Instagram account, and I have been on there since January 27th, 2011. Oh my God, I've been on there 11 years and a bit. Jeez. Interesting. Interesting. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, enjoy looking at my face while I was looking at a screen. Woo! This is the content 80 people enjoy.
I'm not going to keep making a silly of myself. So learning how to put it in drafts, and I am learning off of our group with TikTok Reels. So it is a great academy to go through, people. I promote it to my people too.
Yeah, Vicky, I have a lot of drafts.
I launched them, so I bailed on it, and I'm starting a new TikTok.
If I missed the beginning of the coffee talk. So if you have a little video on your telephone, can you download that to a TikTok? Yeah.
On your telephone? I haven't heard anyone call a phone a telephone in a long time. Maybe Lady Gaga, you know. Telephone.
I see Brooke shaking her head. Yes. Okay, cool. Because I feel more comfortable taking and just making my own little video on my phone and then figuring out how to put it onto TikTok. So I'll try that.
That's what they should have been
Thank you.
telling them to do. That's easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And one tip that I got from somebody earlier on was that he takes 3-second video clips. So throughout the day, you know, if he's going to make a recipe or whatever, he just does 3-second video, 3-second video, 3-second video, and he just adds them together. That's all you have to do. It's basically like it's like a picture series. You just go into TikTok, you select the little picture icon and tap, 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 and there's your little video. And then for those who about the drafts, I don't know if you can see mine, but see on the bottom when you're all done making your TikTok, there's a post button, that red post button right next to it is drafts. All you do is hit drafts and it goes right there.
Brooke, you are amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Dora has her hand up.
Yeah, my question is, Shanna, and it's I love to talk, so I've been looking at it saying
I love Dora. Okay, I love her. Let's get her out. We must protect her. She seems so sweet and lovely, and she's got the side boob. What's not to love?
and I need to spend some time on TikTok. But, and I think it's more about balance because I'm just brand new to Facebook and all the social media things. So by the time I've entered, I have this list that I've gone back through all of my, posts over the last month. And I have over 608 people that have responded to my different posts. So by the time I get through working on trying to have real conversation with everybody, and then by the time I remember, I have to post today, and then, I have to do, a story today to put in there, and I need to go back through and respond to all of my comments so my algorithm gets up, and now people are responding back to me and I have to respond to them. I guess the question is, where's the good priority where you find the best leads and then add that balance into your life with everything? Because I think that's where, it's just like, okay, by the time I've done this today, it's like 6 hours,
Damn, Dora. She's bringing the truth. Gosh, that sounds like a nightmare. And she probably works a 9 to 5 as well as that. Oof. Dora, get out, run. Can Dora's family please check on her and go and get her, I don't know, give her some love and attention so she doesn't have to sit on stupid Facebook and talk about ELOMIR in her free time. Time freedom, 6 hours.
And you have to still live a life. So when do you then add in, doing, or where's the priority, or where, I guess it's going to be different for everybody, but maybe a little good information of, how do we balance all those things, and which platforms would we get the best leads off of that we need to work? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think for me, like I mentioned earlier, I just in the morning, I do all my posts. I spend an hour, I do a Facebook post, a TikTok reel, Instagram reel, everything that I want to do for the day, like my bare minimum, I get done bright and early in the morning. And that way I spend an hour there. And maybe since I do this full time, maybe the remaining 7 hours or whatever it is, however, much you work or whatever, you
So that schedule, because you do this full time, the schedule is not going to fit everybody.
use that to talk to people, right? And that could be in Messenger, responding to messages. But I think the priority is always getting, your relationships built with the people. And so your Messenger is always the priority, but you do have to get the content out there. And I'll just tell you from experience of having a couple different TikToks that have just gone crazy. It just happens sometimes where you'll get to where, sometimes you'll have 100 friend requests in your box. And it's like, how am I ever going to get through this, right? And you just have to take like the baby steps, right? And what do they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So you just go and so you stay out of Facebook jail. You want to just go in chunks. Like maybe you start out with 10.
I didn't hear that last night. Stay out of Facebook jail. Do they get banned for certain things? Oh yeah, I think hashtag bossy. I think she was in she was in the bad books, or maybe with Instagram. I'm not sure. Oh, so really, you're not supposed to be shilling your MLM on Facebook either.
People, and then you move up to 15, and then you move up to 20, or whatever the case may be. But you have all those leads, and those posts are not going anywhere, right? So just, you just got to do it. You just got to start there. And for me, I feel like I'm never complete until I get the whole project done. You know what I mean? But what I've come to find is that we are never done. Like the project is always ongoing. And if you have a reel or a TikTok that has exploded and you're overwhelmed, you have to post another TikTok or reel, and it's going to just, you're just going to get more and more traction, but you have to keep going, and you're not going to hit everybody.
Not
Just know you're
necessarily.
not going to hit everybody, but you're going to do the best that you can every single day. For me, I think the priority is Messenger.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So Dora, I wanted to add to that too, just a little tip that, and I love talking about time management because when I first started in the industry, as I told you guys a million times, like I was an ER nurse and I had to work like 14-hour shifts, and I did this on the side. And
she's going to tell us I could fit it into that schedule. And later, she'll talk about, well, not necessarily in this conversation, but, people who still have a 9 to 5, and it's like, I don't have enough time to post. And she will say, you need to do better because I was an ER nurse and I found time to post. Let's have a look at the chat. Make sure to ask your sponsor to invite you to our team, TikTok and Reels Academy. I get online as often as I can with working 8 to 12 hours a day at full-time job. I also take care of my dad and husband, both disabled at home. I need 10 more hours in each day. Oh my God. This company is taking advantage of people who are in such dire straits. My Lord. It's gross and so predatory. And because it is it's a new company, it's not a newer company. Because it's a new company, everybody is promising this big thing. And, always has to be somebody at the bottom of the pyramid. It just feels like they are putting the most vulnerable people, at the bottom, giving them this false hope. People have seen the rank ups, people have seen this and that, and yeah, it's an unpleasant feeling. I've had it the whole time.
So what I did was I took a day that I was off. So whatever time that you do have, like this, like let's say that you're like, oh my gosh, I have this to do on this day and this, and you're like, okay, this one day I do have these few hours that I can, take. So I love to take a bunch of my pictures for my content in one day. So I call it a photo shoot. If you've ever worked with me before, this is what I do. I take a day of my life that I actually look pretty, because the rest of them I'm in my pajamas, and there's a reason why my camera's off. Okay. So
that's weird. Like you said that people can come as they are, then put yourself on camera. Shanna, because it rhymes with Anna. I got it. Yay.
And you just change your outfits,
listen
and you
to Dora
take
laugh.
pictures. You go to the park, you go out back, you go, into different rooms of your house. You go, and you take pictures of yourself. So you have content for the week. Okay. Then on top of that, you do the exact same thing with your TikToks. So you go and you take a day and you record a bunch of different TikToks and save them in your drafts. So you already have all of your content for the rest of the week that you did in a 5-hour block of a day, or whatever it may be. Like I'm saying 5 because I like to do all mine clustering at once in one day. But you can fit that in your schedules of time and just keep those. And then literally what I tell people is, especially when they're starting off with like Facebook or Instagram, if you guys don't have any ideas, you can literally pair that fashion shoot picture, right, with a quote, right? There might be like a quote online. Like what I love to do sometimes is I'll take I'll have a picture of myself that I took, and that I saved. And I will put it one morning with like a quote, and I'll look up like quotes that are motivational, quotes that say start with she, right? Like literally stuff like that, easy things, right? But guess what? A quote that starts with she, it sounds very funny, but when you pull it up, you're going to start seeing all of these like inspirational quotes about like yourself, right?
Doesn't seem very genuine if that's what you do. Sometimes you can see a picture of yourself and it could be in a time of struggle or something like that, and you will connect to a saying, but this doesn't seem as genuine. This person's chat box message says, do voice messages on Facebook Messenger. Hearing your voice will have much more of an impact than a typed comment. Yeah, especially Dora. She's amazing. Get out, Dora, get out.
Right? So you're posting a picture of yourself, you're empowering yourself. Other people will look at that picture and say, wow, I love that quote. Oh my gosh, like she is an empowered woman. She looks, this picture is beautiful. Like,
I think you're overestimating the general user of Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Like, I'm not thinking that. I'm like, okay, cute, good, love the makeup, go, good. Where'd you get that jacket? Yeah, hate her. Like, it's not that deep.
I want to do, like, she inspired me to do that today, or she inspired me to be better today, or whatever it may be, right? So I'm just having those saved. It saves so much time throughout your week because you don't have to do it every single day. You just have it saved so that you can use those pictures whenever you need them. You have the TikTok saved.
But Shanna, are we supposed to have time freedom? Like, so we have to get it done to have more time? I don't know. Seems like this is a bit more mandatory than it sounds.
So that you can release them, right? And post them whenever you want to, but they're sitting in your drafts ready to go. So that when you have the days that you're just like, there's no way I'm going to get to my business, you can release them on those days. So it's just kind of like pre-working everything. I did the same thing with my posts throughout the week. If you have a little bit of time, start writing some of your posts. Look in the 30 days of posts to get some ideas.
Right.
And just make your posts for the week and save them in the notes in your phone. And then you can literally just go into the notes in your phone, copy and paste, put one of your photo shoot pictures with one of the posts, and you're good to go. So it's just kind of trying to plan out your week. It does take planning for sure. But if you do, like, if this is something that you're like, I don't care, I want to do this regardless of the amount of time I have, then you just have to take out those like spaces of time that you do have and use them to your advantage.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I think Lori's hand is up.
Hey y'all, I'm at a soccer game, so I hope you can hear me. My question is, like, I started trying to do the reels and the TikToks, but I'm finding, like, you know, if people don't like actually follow you, or I'm having trouble like adding them to the ATM groups. And I don't know if it's just something I'm doing wrong or what, but if, you know, so I'm like, okay, it's kind of defeating the purpose if I can't get them in there, you know, so they can see everything. So I don't know, y'all have some tips for that, or like I said, maybe it's user error on my part.
So MLMs are supposed to be, you know, you've got time to do the things that you want to do with your kids and go to sports, etc. And this person's at sports on a work Zoom.
I think, I mean, it may simply be, I'm not sure if you're doing this already, but I think that every single post, every single TikTok and reel has to have that call to action. Like, you have to tell somebody exactly what you want them to do, right? So if the way that you're going to communicate with them is, you know, drop happy in the comments and I'll reach out to you, or you have to.
But, oh crap, what was I just going to say?
Give them
God
specifics
damn it.
on what you want them to do, I think.
Hang on, I need to listen to it again. Sorry. Gonna go back a little bit.
Something I'm doing wrong or what, but if, you know, so I'm like, okay, it's kind of defeating the purpose if I can't get them in there, you know, so they can see everything. So I don't know, y'all have some tips for that, or like I said, maybe it's user error on my part.
I think, I mean, it may simply be, I'm not sure if you're doing this already, but I think that every single post, every single TikTok and reel has to have that call to action. Like, you have to tell somebody exactly what you want them to do, right? So if the way that you're going to communicate with them is, you know, drop happy in the comments and I'll reach out to you, or you
Can't
have to
remember.
give them
It's okay.
specifics on what you want them to do, I think.
So
Okay.
Lauren, is the question that like you just want to get them like the call to action part, or you're saying like you're having trouble like getting them actually physically in the group?
Well, like I had a lady, this was on a reel, and she wanted information and everything, and we were messaging with each other and everything through Messenger. And, you know, when I go to her page, you know, it shows like, you know, she's following me or whatever, but I cannot find her when I go to add her to the actual ATM group when I try to invite her.
You couldn't. So it was this.
You have to be friends. Yeah, you have to be friends with them to invite them to the group, unless you send them the link directly.
That's
Mhm.
That's the question.
So maybe I need to start sending the link and just having them.
Yeah. So
Maybe that'll work better.
I'm so glad you brought this up, Lori, because it actually is something that a lot of people have trouble with. So now that we're here, that subject's up. Okay. So when you go to invite people to the ATM group, a lot of people are like saying, oh my gosh, they didn't get in or whatever it may be. But the problem is it's so much easier if you actually go to them and say, hey, this is our, you know, ATM group, or don't call it an ATM group. Actually, they're not going to know what that means. So this is our testimonial group, Live Your Best Life. And
Everybody's been calling it the ATM group. But also, you fools, that you're giving away your strategy. ATM, add tag message.
You give them the link to join and say, click the link to join, but make sure that you answer the 2 questions that they ask and you will be entered, into the group. And we have tons of, testimonials, videos, all of that thing. But they usually, for some reason, I don't know why the groups are like this, but if they go to try to get into the group, it won't accept them like that. So it's very hard. Like, you have to give them the link and tell them to answer the 2 questions, and then they will get accepted. But if, let's say, instead of doing that, you went and added them yourself, what'll happen is they may not see that invite, and until they accept the invite themselves, they can't get into the group. And so if they don't see that notification, or if those questions never get answered, they won't ever get in there. So always give them the link yourself and say to them, click on this link and answer the 2 questions to get into the group. And then it'll make your life so much easier. We are accepting in every single person who answers those questions, but it won't happen if if you just add them yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes. So, and that sounds like a much better way. Now, let me ask you this. If I send the invite link, it doesn't really matter if people just follow me or if they add me as a friend, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Great. Thank y'all.
No problem. And then I think you have Anita.
Yes, I was just wondering, how do you get followers on TikTok? Do you have to follow people back who start following you to gain more followers, or do you just post videos and then the followers just come?
They're just sort of precious, but remember, they're trying to sell a product. That's what this is about, selling access clarity and this pyramid scheme, allegedly. What's on the chat? I had to contact my upline to get some of my prospects in the ATM. You need to be sending the link and inviting them. Make sure to let them know to answer the questions, please. Have to run, whatever. That's the biggest issue for us moderators. They're not answering the entry questions. Well, I tried to get in there and didn't really know how to answer them either, but how do you get followers on TikTok? I mean, like anything else. Come on.
I don't think that you have to actually follow them back. If you wanted to send a message, you would have to be following them. But the way that I get more followers is by sharing content that they're going to reshare. So I didn't have the best of luck just doing things like myself, just trying to be funny or just dancing or whatever. Like, I felt like nobody cares about that. You know what I mean? But when I give them a recipe, something that they can take and share and provide to their people, then now you're getting those people to follow you as well. So it's creating shareable content will help you grow.
Okay, thank you.
Awkward silence, another awkward silence. Brought to you by ELOMIR. Alright, hang on. Someone has said to get 1,000, which is definitely a goal for more options, I'm doing follow posts like follow trains. I don't know if that's going to get your engagement up, though. I don't mind putting myself out. This is another comment, sorry, in the chat. I don't mind putting myself out there for reels and TikToks, but I have a hard time doing a photo shoot. Like, I don't have a yard or a big house, so going out somewhere and using a ring light or tripod to do a photo shoot in public, it's hard for me. I think everybody's just like minds their own business now. They don't really care about people filming themselves, selfies. I remember hiding it quite a lot when I was younger. Oh yeah, like, mid-30s, but younger.
All right, Shannon, it looks like it's 9 o'clock my time here
Thank
on the
God.
West Coast. 12 o'clock your time. Is that when we shut her down?
Yep, it's perfect.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for letting me come on and share. And I hope you all have a good weekend. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, guys.
Bye.
That's the end, people.
Oh my God. Thank God that's over.
So Daisy, I didn't realize I said that afterwards. I was just happy because it was really late and I had to have a shower before I went to bed. Look, it was 2 a.m. Lucky I find myself hilarious, right? Anyway, so the ELOMIR shenanigans continue. Watch out, TikTok. The ELOMIR boomers are coming, and this is why everybody's been able to be in their chats and their groups and their Zooms, everything. They have people who are not tech savvy, and anti-mlmers. I would say that we have to be tech savvy, and yeah, they're just a bit slow on the uptake. I mean, maybe they just don't care. Don't they realize we're there? I don't know. I did think it was risky for me to say the thing about the safety, but I just couldn't leave it there. Yeah, that was a really uncomfortable moment among many. There was like awkward silences and so on. But when somebody discloses that they are in a domestic violence situation, and you don't lead with your safety is the first priority, I don't like that. And I think that's really sneaky and gross, and you shouldn't be doing it. Everybody's first priority should be their own safety. Very unpleasant. Anyway, I've sent this out to some other creators. Be interesting to see what they say about it. I'm still reeling from the one that was on YouTube the other day. I just cannot believe that they talked about putting it into childcare centres, that they are inventory sort of buying from other people to get the costs up. So they're paying people for their product and then getting the product themselves so they can sort of flip the system. And Joel, who is, he's next to Jesus, he's sitting up there next to Jesus. That's how spiritual he is. No, but he is driving and talking on a Zoom. And he also wrote a message when he was on that Zoom. So, yeah, don't think he's too conscious about his own safety. You're not going to resurrect after 3 days, Joel. And to think that he could hit somebody. And Joel also said, I've got to get to Icon 5. Oh, so it is all about the money, Joel. It is, right. These people are just running wild, saying the wildest shit. And yeah, we're not having it. we've got Girls Next Door coming up and some other goodies. I have not forgotten some early Van Antoine. So we'll see how we go. See what pops up this week. See if the productivity that I'm having is maintaining. I am doing like lots of videos at the moment. I'm on a roll and I'm just taking advantage of it as I am. Yeah. Anyway, have a good day, night, evening, good morning, whatever. And thanks again for stopping by and giving me a little piece of your time. I appreciate it. All right, goodbye. I gotta get to the recorder.